Wait, wait.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to the Hardest Us Journey webinar. It's August 23rd. We're talking about the masculine heart chakra in Glastonbury, United Kingdom, and our journey through the heart for humanity. So,
Well, since our last webinar a week ago, we've had a number of very unusual events take place because of um, our government and our political leaders wrangling, squeezing humanity out of all of us. It's this is so timely to show what is needed to be done to get out of our own way as humanity so that we can all flourish. Our leaders have shown us all evidence of hypocrisy and criminality, and then to be able to pass through that to what we're doing is to the integrity of humanity. And this is really what it's all about, is how to shift from hypocrisy to integrity.
the masculine form and structure of our world, it's been designed on the patriarchal system of domination and oppression and war. That's nothing new to any of us. We're all aware of that. But now, what is the new masculine energy? How do we open the heart of the new man, or honor the opening of the heart of the new man is a better way to say it? Because that new man is the protector and the carer, the provider, the partner, the beloved, the stable force that provides the space for the feminine to flow freely. And Glastonbury, interesting, Glastonbury has been considered the heart chakra of the world, and this journey is bringing out the information about Dobogokor in Hungary being the feminine heart chakra and Glastonbury being the masculine heart chakra. And the feminine point within the masculine heart chakra is Chalice Well. Glastonbury and the United Kingdom, so much is happening there. The crop circles, there was an eclipse crop circle that was just magnificent with a message of, well, you'll have to interpret your own on the message, but the message of Glastonbury in the heart is that we are getting a new structure and a new foundation. That can look kind of unusual and challenging, and if you have fear within, it could be scary, seeing the destruction and the dissolution of the systems and structures that are in place now, because the new systems and structures aren't going to be constructed. They're going to grow. They are growing. They are growing out of the roots, out of the earth. It's emerging into our world in a natural flow, in communities, people coming together and just saying, hey, how can we live together in a way that supports humanity, and we can teach our children how to be human instead of how to live in a slave system. And this is happening all over the world. We're just a part of it.
And at the center of all of these things that we're talking about, of our journey from the heart of, from the masculine, the feminine and the masculine, and combining it, creating a new humanity, and which is what needs to be balanced, is our masculine and feminine. And we've we've come up with a new word called femuline, instead of feminine or masculine. Femuline. It's a new word that
It came out of the eclipse, actually.
Yeah, it came out right in the middle of the eclipse. It came through unwittingly through Mayana's mouth, and when I heard it, I said, "That is perfect. That is the perfect expression of what we're doing." And what has been a real challenge in our human evolution and in our humanity's struggle throughout these times. So it's just another evidence. I mean, we're being showered with these new way of perceiving things, and with tools to forgive each other for our trespasses, knowing. for our ignorance. For ignorance, because basically that's all it is. We've just been ignorant as to who we truly are as human beings on this
as a species, as spirits, as souls, as the Homo sapien that is transforming into Homo spiritus.
The femuline.
The femuline.
Homo
which is this image behind us. The goal.
This one right here.
Yeah, that is Homo spiritus, energy body. The femuline. See how it's rooted in the heart? The root and the heart are connected directly. I guess you can't see my finger doing that on the screen. So the root right there and the heart stalk connects directly with the root. And this is the whole purpose of our journey, is to be rooted in our hearts. You know, when I was going through a major transformation in 2009 and 2010, I was really learning and receiving that it was important that we be grounded and centered in our hearts, not in earth, not in the stars of the great central sun. We had to be grounded in our own physical hearts. And that is emerging now as the root, being heart-rooted, rooted in the heart. And our logo has gone through a transformation to match that. And when you go to heartist.us, that's HEARTIST.US, that's our website. You'll see that Mount Shasta image with the roots coming out of the mountain.
And although all this talk about feminine and masculine and root chakras and energy centers, and this is not to be confused with our sexuality and sexual expressions. That is a very important part of all of our experience as to how we express it. And of course, right now with the awareness of transgender knowledge and all these experiences that we're going through in these challenging times about identity, self-identity for each of us. This has nothing to do with how we express ourselves sexually. This is the inner balance of who we are, which is so important and necessary to become this femuline for the new times, this femuline energy for the new times of our Homo spiritus experience, where our spirit is the number one force, but our spirit is both masculine and feminine in both men and women, and it's just a balancing of that we um, need to accept.
And there are many ways that the masculine and feminine individually have been a part of our form, but it's really the merging of our spirit and our soul within the body. The spirit being the masculine and the soul being the feminine. When they merge and they create a new being within us, that's Homo Spiritus. When your spirit and your soul are one and in ecstasy, it gives forth a new life. And this is the Trinity. This is the ancient teachings from all cultures, that we birth into a golden being and a golden age. And if you'll notice on this image, the gold is not bound up in the belly any longer. The solar plexus chakra is not bound in the belly. It goes into the marrow of our bones. And that's the golden Christ grid. The Christing, the whatever terminology you want to use, this is our foundation. And science says that gold, the element of gold, in the marrow of our bones produces stem cells. And the stem cells are directed by our vagus nerve, VAGUS, to regenerate any part of our body that needs regeneration. We are designed to continually regenerate and continual life. We are not designed for death. It's the Homo sapien that lives in death.
It lives in death.
Well, yeah, it lives in the death program where life is not continual. Life renews, yes, but there's a dying and birthing and rebirthing and reliving and a reliving and a dying and a reliving. And that process is not a continual rising growth that Homo Spiritus is.
So this is the awakening is this knowledge. This is the awakening knowledge, is to know that this divine energy that Mayana mentioned is Christing. And this is, of course, where we're connected to all the masters, the spiritual masters, past, present, and future, literally.
And for us, for Andras and myself, this journey to Glastonbury and the masculine heart is related to the time that we lived, that we remember being in the time of Christ, whether it was a different lifetime or just tuning into an alternate reality, doesn't matter. It's in our DNA, it's in our awareness. And Andras is Joseph of Arimathea, who was laid to rest in Glastonbury. And myself,
not the physical being of Joseph of Arimathea, but the spirit at that time that was living in the physical body of Joseph of Arimathea.
That lives on.
Yeah, not to be confused with the personality and all of that other thing, but in fact, it was in the physical and the personality of Joseph of Arimathea that I do connect to, and among other things, but we'll be talking more about that part. But I want to talk, so this awakening that I started to talk about is happening right now to all of us, to varying different degrees and shades of the rainbow colors. Is the awakening is to discover that truly the divine is in all of us, and not to exclude you, not to exclude you or anybody else. It's in all of us, in fact, any living thing, but certainly all of us Homo spiritus is here is spiritues. So this knowledge, this knowing that we are part of the divine. This is what Jesus said, that, it is,
we're all sons of God.
We're all sons of God. We're all, and all spiritual leaders will confirm that, yes, this divine spirit is in all of us. But to see that in ourselves is a major awakening. This is all we have to do, is to awaken to that truth and that knowing that we are divine, that our energy is divine energy. And the real divine shift is to also see that in everyone else, is to see the divine in your partner, in your in everything
in all
else.
Relationships.
And that is the pure shift to divinity in your own nature. So it's really not that complex. And I keep my contribution to any of this is to bringing it down to simple. This has been my divine venture into this lifetime, is to keep seeing the simplicity of how all of that works. The Homo sapien mind, sapien, you got a definition for what sapien is. It's important to know what it is. It has to do with mind, with the with cognizing, with the intellect kind of a mind. That's sapien translates into that category of the mind. However, the Homo spiritus expresses and acknowledges the knowledge of the unconditional divine nature knowledge in all of us.
And the access to the greater mind, the one mind, the unified field of consciousness that we can tap into. It's called the Akashic Records, whatever.
And in science, it's called the unified field.
The unified field,
and,
right.
And everything is coming together so beautifully and simply. So you can resist or go with the flow. I mean, what's happening now, to resist is almost impossible. It'll break people. It'll break things, because this I've been calling it a tsunami of energy coming in from the cosmos, from astronomy, from astrology, from everywhere. That's what it's all about. And this celestial activity of the eclipse is all about that. Is having gone into the darkness, into the depths and darkness of our own birthing into. This is the birthing canal into this new Homo spiritus.
And we've been thinking about this journey and the area of our journey that we'll talk about next time as the birth portal. And yet it feels now, after the eclipse, it feels like this is more about the nurturing of humanity and the mother's milk and the breasts. If you look at the image for our hardest dust journey and the two circles that overlap and make a Vesica Pisces, it really is like the sternum is the center and the heart is birthing. We are birthing out of the heart, not birthing through a vagina this time. It's through the heart. And it's a different kind of being that we're becoming. And the Glastonbury and United Kingdom, part of our journey is the tail end. And we'll be there October 30th through November 1st. So on Halloween in the US, All Saints Day on November 1st, and Samhain on October 31st, we will be in Glastonbury at Chalice Well and in various circles such as Avebury and, you know, places like that. We didn't plan it to be there on Samhain. That's just how it happened.
In fact,
planned it.
Just about, I can very safely say that my life is a testament of non-planning. You know, I share that I play, you know, somebody once called me, he said to me a long time ago that I have the Peter Pan syndrome. And after hearing that a few times, I really realized that after I found out what Peter Pan was all about, because prior to that I didn't know. And I definitely connected to the spirit, the youthful spirit of Peter Pan. And so when after realizing that, the next time I heard somebody call me having the Peter Pan syndrome, I said, no syndrome am I am Peter Pan. And of course, it's the spirit of Pan. And that's how it has evolved into Pan of Gaia. Pan of Gaia, King of the Elementals. It's the original energy of the elemental coming together and creating
Planet Earth,
creating life.
Or Star Gaia, perhaps would be a better way to call her. This star, this blue water star that we live on.
And this journey, oh yeah, so I started talking about the plan. So I said, I didn't say I'm Peter Plan, I'm Peter Pan. I'm Pan, not plan. I never had any plans. All these, I just kept catching the waves of energy, of spirit, of the spirit moving me from here to there. And I've always said yes to life. I've always said yes to love. It's been challenging in our constructed world of the Homo sapien and in our narrow vision of how a human...
What's acceptable to express and how.
Yeah, in various different cultures, especially in the American culture of the man, of the competitive male, and I played in it, you know, I've done the competitive sports, but I found my way out of that at the same time. So this is where it brought me to, but there was no plan. I made no plans in my life. Just been getting out of the pandemonium of humanity and creating my own pan-dominion. And
so today,
as you can see, we love playing with words, but they're not just words. It's what's behind those words. And not only concepts, but real manifested realities of the spirit.
So tomorrow is Thursday, August 24th, and we're going to be in Mount Shasta at the Temple of Intention with an event we're calling the Voice of Shasta. This is our introduction to the city of Shasta, about our journey, and starting to gather the voices that Shasta would speak through the people of Shasta to take to the heart. And so tomorrow evening we'll be at the Temple of Intention at 6 o'clock to 7:30. And, you know, then on 10/10/2017, October 10th, we'll be back at Shasta beginning the journey.
This is how the story ends. No, this is how that story ended. Now we're beginning another story. And I hope you've, if you haven't listened to our previous um, tapes around this subject, around our heartist journey, it all comes together hardest in the tinctum of Everland, where feminine energies rule instead of, it's just a balance of, of who we all are, balancing the divine and the masculine and the feminine into the tinctum where that energy rules, that balanced feminine energy rules. And Everland is wherever you are. So wherever you are, you're included. All you have to do is go with the tsunami of energy and catch it. Don't resist. Just be. Just be and know that you are divine. You are a divine, beautiful, feminine being.
An expression of both masculine and feminine coming together, heart to heart, and really grounding the golden Christ light. And the Christ light is not masculine. It's not just Jesus. It's been here before Jesus was here, and it's here after, but we have to really ground it in our own physical bodies to have that within. It's a process. It's a growth that Jesus showed us the way. He didn't do it for us. He just showed us the way. And there have been others who've shown us that way. And the Chalice Well part of this journey really is about the Christ life, because Joseph of Arimathea, who was the one who took Jesus' body and laid it in his own tomb as Jesus' uncle, he's the one who took Mary to France and then to Glastonbury, Mary Magdalene. And we're looking forward to these moments.
And all we have to do is have the intention. That's all we have to do. Come from our heart with the intention of expressing ourselves only for the good of all. And for that, all we have to do is choose love as we
choose love.
Blessings.